unit.
Oh, yeah.
And they get totally take on ISIS. And then now the liberal and saying, well, you can compare the union to ISIS.
He didn't even do that. It's amazing.
What's that?
No, I was going to say, it's amazing that these people are such idiots. Because he wasn't making the comparison, but the problem is that that's what they look at. They'll say, they try to find a gotcha thing. Instead of going, hey, what did you mean by that? Or, okay, I see the analogy. I mean, my God, you can't make an analogy or a metaphor without the liberal, well, I was going to say liberal media, but even the conservative media does it to the, does it to the libs too. Not as much, and they're certainly not as well.
Anyhow, I got into it with the liberal thing. I'm doing my American duty. I get into it with liberals, okay?
Congratulations, yes.
Because they mentioned that about, and you know that Scott Walker's a man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so those liberals started attacking Walker, and that was his point. Well, you're comparing union, blah, blah, blah. I said, wait, you didn't mind the Obamacare comparing ISIS to Christians? What really is going to sandwich? I think that was you stupid liberal. If we were the two guys of Obama, like you guys do our top candidates, Obama would never made it.
Yeah.
Well, I just had to say.
Well, no, it's a good point. And by the way, if anybody hadn't heard it, let me pull it up here real quick, and I'll give you the exact phrase. Let's see. He said, I want a commander-in-chief who will do everything in his power to ensure that the threat from radical Islamic terrorists do not wash up on America's soil. We will have someone who leads and ultimately will send a message. We need a leader with that kind of confidence. Then he said, if I can take on 100,000 protesters, I can do the same across the world. And go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing how they criticize him. And that's going to happen. They're not going to say nothing but Hillary Clinton. What an idiot she is.
Oh, it's amazing.
You know what, John Kerry, I could go on a little bit here. John Kerry said that the world in America is more safer than it's ever been. Now, 2 days ago, they got 3 guys in New York, and the one guy said, yeah, I couldn't get out of here, but if I had a chance, I'd shoot Obama.
Who said that? Who said that?
John Kerry?
No.
No, they captured 3 people in New York that were headed off.
Oh. Yeah, 3 guys that were heading to Syria.
Yeah.
And basically they got them, and they said that if they couldn't make it to Syria, they were going to buy weapons here, and he wanted to shoot the president. So it's just weird. I mean, these people are all over the place now. Yeah, John Kerry doesn't have a clue. Hey, I got to roll, man. Appreciate the call. 330-673-1234. Toll free is 800-669-4100. And the weird thing was is that he also, it was not just him, but James Clapper, who's the director of national intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
He came out earlier in the day and said, quote, 2014 will have been the most lethal year for global terrorism in the 45 years such data has been compiled. It will be the most lethal year of global terrorism. And then later on, John Kerry comes out and says, it's It's counterintuitive, but the truth is that notwithstanding the threat to ISIL, notwithstanding people being beheaded publicly and burned publicly, and the atrocities that they are perpetrating, notwithstanding that, there is actually less threat and less probability of people dying in some sort of violent conflict today than at any time in human history.
Anytime. We're safe for now.
Time in human history.
Wow.
Now, I'm sorry, mammoths, if the Neanderthals worked together, they were fine. But if a mammoth or a woolly rhino caught a Neanderthal or a Cro-Magnon by himself, I'm sorry, they were so screwed. But
no, but we're the same. I mean, who says stuff like that? That's just ignorant. It's an ignorant statement to say.
First off, let me say, word of the day, notwithstanding. That's one. That's
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Embarrassing. You should just say, replace that notwithstanding. It's embarrassing.
He basically said, for those who didn't catch the whole thing, was, we are living at the safest time in human history. If you don't count the beheadings and the live burnings and all the other atrocities that are happening, if you don't count that, we're living in the safest time in the history of humankind. Be right back. Hunters, shooters, and collectors, come out to the North Canton Gun Show at St. George Church Social Hall on Apple Grove. This weekend, 9 to 5 Saturday, 9 to 3 Sunday. New and used guns, sporting, military, antique, and modern. Buy, sell, or trade. Admission just $5. Join the NRA at the show and get in free. 12 and under free gun drawing, and free parking. That's the North Canton Gun Show, St. George Social Hall, 4669 Apple Grove this weekend. Visit online at heritagegunshowsohio.com.
This is the Wizard from Haas Automall. Watch me make high prices melt away on all new vehicles at the award season event. Haas Automall in Ravenna and Downton, home of the lifetime loyalty powertrain warranty.
The British Invasion 50th Anniversary Tour lands at the Kent Stage Wednesday, March 4th, featuring England's Denny Lane, Peter Asher, Billy J. Kramer, Chad and Jeremy, Mike Pender's Searchers, and Terry Sylvester. Don't miss this historic night of great music. Get tickets at kentstage.org.
The ocean's full of treasures, hidden just below the waves. Some of them are swimming, some tucked away in caves. But the treasure folks are loving is the ocean's greatest haul. McDonald's Filet-O-Fish, the most golden of them all.
There's no better treasure than getting 2 Filet-O-Fish sandwiches topped with creamy tartar sauce for just $3.99. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only. Price of individual item posted on menu board.
Oh, so many choices.
Well, it is McDonald's dollar menu and more.
I'm gonna eeny meeny.
You can't eeny meeny.
Too much to eeny meeny.
Way too much eeny meeny.
Yes, but because there are so many choices, no matter where my eeny meenying takes me, it'll be awesome.
Okay, eeny meeny.
I'm gonna eeny meeny.
With so many entrees, desserts, drinks, and snacks, including your favorites like the doubly delicious McDouble Burger, or for just $1, the famously crispy McChicken Sandwich. The dollar menu and more has more of what you love. Price and participation may vary.
What are you looking at? You think because I'm a cheese and sausage that I don't have the onions to get all up in your face? You want a piece of me? Huh?
Giannino's Pizza has attitude, and it's crazy good.
You want a piece of me?
Check out their 44 locations at Gianninos.com. Why be a millionaire when you can be a mega millionaire? Right now, the Mega Millions jackpot has climbed all the way up to $127 million. The next drawing is tonight. Don't wait. Get your Mega Millions tickets now.
And sign up for the My Lotto Rewards Club, where any non-winning ticket could be another chance to win. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Please play responsibly.
The voices of Shale Energy.
Hi, I'm Barbara Pickup. As a geologist living in Colorado, I chose to work in the energy industry for a reason, to help take care of the beautiful land I love so much. I grew up here, so I share the concerns of my neighbors. It's not enough to know fracking will help us secure America's energy future. I want to make sure we're protecting the land and water too. There has to be a balance. Which is why scientists like me monitor well sites and measure rock properties to know exactly where we are every step of the way. All while working closely with regulatory agencies to make sure we're following strict state and federal guidelines. The fact is, they've been fracking safely for over 65 years. That's a long time.
Defense in Brimfield, located next to Pizza Hut on State Route 43. Sporting Defense can help you with all your firearm, knife, and ammo needs for concealed carry, hunting, and home defense. We buy, sell, and trade all types of firearms, knives, or ammo. We will give you the best deal on your trade. Starting in February, we will have new hours and will be open Monday through Saturday to serve you better. Stop in to Sporting Defense and meet me, Terry, and Kenny. You have been to the rest, now stop and see the best. We look forward to meeting you.
Hi, this is Bob Golick, and if you can't call, then send me a text or an email right now. It's simply bob@WNIR.com. Thanks to Roadrunner, don't get any easier than that. All right, welcome back to the Bob Golick Show with Karen over there, and is that the official name of it?
Yep, Karen
Bob
over
Golick
there.
Show with Karen over there. Let's grab another phone call. You're up next. How you doing?
Brother Bob and Sister Karen.
Sounds like a movie. Seven brides for seven brothers.
There you go. I got a kick out of your LGBT confusion, by the order and that.
Yeah, the guy. I mean, they have added all these other things, and some of them that they're adding, I mean, I can't even say on the air. And I'm thinking at that point, do you have to describe everything you do?
Yeah, I had a buddy, and he was confused about it. I grew up Roman Catholic. We used to go to when we went to parochial school, to the CCD classes, and for some of you non-Catholic, that's Confraternity of Catholic Doctrine. And my teacher was a Jesuit priest, and he always told us, he says, you want to get your message across, always try to form a mental picture. You'll say stuff like, well, look at it this way, or imagine this. And so what I did to my buddy, I says, just break the four initials down into the simple what do they call it? They call it when you take a word, the first letter of a word, just have one in senior minutes. Acronym. Thank you so much. And so I said, look, just go LG and then BT. And I said, and it straightens it out. It's large and then black. And I said, and the reason for that is that the lesbians have been complaining, and they're worried that 75% of them are obese.
Have they been complaining? I saw an article about that. I didn't know they were complaining.
Oh yeah, they were concerned.
All Americans are obese. All of our kids supposedly are obese.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Last lesbian I saw was skinny.
There you go. I got a kick out of listening to some of the craziness about this global warming, this fraud. And I'm looking at it from God's point of view. I'm thinking, God's probably saying, hey, look, you guys are pandering this global warming fraud. I'm going to give you the coldest winter ever. Let's see you explain that one. And for those states that decide to defile my sanctuary with these sodomite union ceremonies, I'm going to give you 7 feet of snow. So
you just imagine God looking down on the earth, this beautiful blue marble with white and green, and going, why are they always complaining? Look what they have. Oh my God, this is like the perfect place.
Yeah.
And of course, God's voice is lower.
And
he said, oh my God.
I just don't know where we're going to put all this snow.
Oh my knee.
They're dumping it offshore now. I think what they ought to do is sell it to the Chinese. They need fresh water.
Oh my God! According to the climate change people, we should load it up and take it to Antarctica, and we can fix all the cracks.
Yeah, there you go. I was listening to it was a nationally syndicated AM talk show, and I was touched by listening to this young Syrian Christian mom, and she was begging for America to stop arming the Muslims. She goes, arm the Christians, we can defend ourselves.
Did you realize 200 more Christians were taken by ISIS to be used for whatever they want to. They'll be tortured. I'm sure they'll be raped, sodomized. All the things that come with it. And we sit here and we call ourselves. The sad thing is that we used to call ourselves a Christian country, and now there's too many people fight against it. So so if you say it, get ready to have somebody argue with them. Oh, they were deists. Oh, they were this. Oh, they were that. You know what? Bite me. We're 92% of Congress is Christian. And so, we and the most people, 87% of the people in this country are Christian.
Oh, exactly. I like Barack Obama. He has a distraction for everything.
And he said, well, you Christians are not without guilt. I mean, look at, you killed all these Muslims during the crusade. Well, the Muslims were an invading and occupying army. They were legitimate targets. And the crusades ended in like 63 or something.
We also thought the world was flat.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about it, the Protestant Bible wasn't, until 1611, so this was 400 years before a Protestant who was killing everybody were the Catholics that were given an indulgence. The army wasn't even paid. They were given the indulgence that if you die, or if you go on a crusade, whether you die or you come back, all your sins are absolved. That's what their payment was. I mean, this is what, tripped, Martin Luther off. He said, hey, look, that worked during the crusade. It's not working here in 1577. He decided to put his 95 Thesis on the door of Wittenberg. I mean, and he was a well-educated Catholic, but, the one I like is Slick Willie. I mean, he has many distractions, like the bombing of the baby food plant,
Yeah.
In Sudan. And he said it was a hazardous weapon. Well, when you look at the guys cleaning up the wreckage, nobody's in a level 5 bio suit. They're in shorts and cutoffs, and it was just a wag the dog for, he had to get rid of some Monica missiles to get him off the radar screen with.
Yeah, and he was bombing the crap out of the Christians. So.
Oh, yeah, and the crazy thing about it, then the media supports him, say, well, look at Thomas Jefferson. Well, he had a love child with Sarah Heming. What does that have to do? That was 200 years before.
She wasn't, yeah, exactly. And she wasn't Bosnian either. So, yeah, I got to roll, man. Okay, you too. Bye-bye. All right, we are up against the top of the hour here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday, the 27th. And for those of you who have any bills to pay before the end of the month, tomorrow's the last day. Yeah, don't say, let's see, February is the 30th or 31 days. No. April, June, all the rest of 30, except February, which has 28, except in years divisible by the number 4.
Leap year.
That's what it would be. We'll come back with more of the Bob Golick Show.
Straight to the phone.
With Karen Golick. Live in Iron Connect.
From ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. Police in rural southeast Missouri are still trying to figure out why a man named Joseph Jess Aldrich shot and killed 7 people in 3 different homes before killing himself.
The motive for the killing has yet to be determined. All of the victims' residences are located within a 3-square-mile radius of Tyrone.
It's Tyrone, Missouri. Texas, Missouri Sheriff Sergeant Jeff Kinder says a 9th person, Aldrich's mother, died of natural causes. The House is preparing to pass a temporary funding bill that would keep the Department of Homeland Security open, but only for another 3 weeks.
With a partial shutdown looming and an impasse over funding the Department of Homeland Security ongoing in Congress, the White House is signaling that President Obama would sign even a temporary funding bill, although that is not his preference. Here's White House spokesman Josh Earnest.
The president is not going to allow the agency to shut down.
The shutdown could happen the end of Friday if Congress does not act. Susan Salmi, ABC News, Washington.
An invite to address Congress. ABC's John Parkinson says it came from the Speaker of the House and was addressed to the President of Afghanistan.
House Speaker John Boehner has invited Afghan President Ashraf Ghani to address a joint meeting of Congress on March 25th. Unlike the invitation for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, the White House and congressional Democrats were informed of the invitation. Ghani will become the 2nd Afghan president to address the U.S. Congress. Former President Hamid Karzai appeared before a joint meeting on June 15, 2004. John Parkinson, ABC News at the Capitol.
This was his most famous line.
Live long and prosper.
Mr. Spock on the Starship Enterprise, the actor who played him, Leonard Nimoy, has died at the age of 83. William Shatner, of course, who played Captain Kirk, said he loved him like a brother. President Obama even issued a statement today saying long before being nerdy was cool, there was Leonard Nimoy. In his words, I love Spock. Checking the markets today, the Dow's down 74 points and the NASDAQ is down 23 points. You're listening to ABC News.
ABC Radio presents Business Buzz, brought to you by Regis, the new way to work.
When choosing a savings account, there are plenty of things to look out for. Be wary of account fees and avoid the minimum balance penalty. And keep an eye out for inactivity fees, too. You want to automate savings from your paycheck to help avoid all this. Do plenty of research comparing bank rates. And be sure the account has easy access if you need cash fast in case of an emergency.
That's Business Buzz, brought to you by Regis, the new way to work. Call 1-800-OFFICES.
Before Gerjote, New York was a fashion line, it was one woman's dream. And when her company grew and needed space in the heart of Manhattan, Regis made it happen for a fraction of the cost. With beautifully furnished offices and administrative support staff, Regis gave Gerjote the professional image she wanted and the place to make her life's work a reality. So when you're ready to start your business or take your business to the next level, Regis is there. Regis, the new way to work. Call 1-800-OFFICES now. Do it.
New Ebola cases in Liberia are down 95% from their peak last summer.
Because of the extraordinary courage of health workers and community leaders and President Sirleaf and her administration, what could have been an even more devastating crisis has been brought under control.
President Obama with Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf commending her on leading the country through the crisis. Madonna says she hit her head and suffered whiplash when she was yanked backward down some steps while performing live at the Grit Awards. Her Armani cape was supposed to come free, but it didn't. Now, Giorgio Armani said the malfunction wasn't his fault. The cape had a hook, he said, but Madonna wanted a tie. She couldn't open it properly. That's all there is to it. Does it really matter which side of the bed you sleep on? ABC's Karen Chase says it can make a difference in your attitude.
Getting up on the wrong side of the bed really can put you in a bad mood. A survey by mattress manufacturer Sattva suggests most people tend to gravitate to the same side each night. 58% of men and 50% of women prefer the right side. The survey found that something as simple as picking the wrong side, or whether you face or face away from your partner, actually makes a difference in how well you sleep. Bottom line, if you don't feel comfortable with which side you're on, you won't sleep as well, and that could easily make you cranky. Karen Chase, ABC News.
This is ABC News.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful, but creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your website, your style. Show the world what you can do. Go to Wix.com and create your own stunning website today. It's easy and free.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Announcing the Marquee Millionaire VLT Tournament, exclusively from Marquee Rewards.
Qualify at Hollywood Gaming at Mahoning Valley Racecourse, February 22nd through the 28th. Use your Marquee Rewards card and you could be off to Vegas for a chance to win it all.
The Marquee Millionaire VLT Tournament, a Marquee Rewards signature event.
The $1 million grand prize is paid in annual installments over 20 years. Must be 21 years or older. Any problem? Call 1-800-589-9966 for help.
Does your kitchen or bathroom need to be updated? Then First Flooring and Tile is the place to go. Family owned for over 59 years, First Flooring has everything you need for your kitchen, bathroom, or any flooring project. Their 6,000 square foot showroom has a huge selection of in-stock tile, hardwood, laminate, and vinyl products to choose from. And their experienced and friendly staff will have you make the perfect choice. Call First Flooring and Tile in Akron, 330-376-5166, or visit them on the web at firstflooring.com.
There are good deals and there are great deals. And AT&T has a deal that blows past great and goes straight to awesome. Because you can get a free 8-inch Samsung Galaxy Tab 4 when you buy any Samsung Galaxy smartphone for $0 down on AT&T Next. That's one great deal on 2 incredible Samsung devices you can use for streaming movies, keeping up with friends, email, social networks, you name it. So come in now and get a free 8-inch Samsung Galaxy Tab 4 when you buy any Samsung Galaxy smartphone for $0 down at AT&T. Mobilizing your world. AT&T reminds you to never text and drive. It can wait.
Right now, switch to AT&T and get a $100 bill credit when you buy a smartphone for $0 down with AT&T Next.
Samsung bundle also requires buying tablets with 2-year agreement and activating wireless service on both devices for bill credit.